Keep informed. Stay plugged in. Read next on Sunday and every day of the week.
Hello and welcome to Next News. My name is Edirio Putu. 2 former bank executives sacked by Nigeria's central bank earlier this month are wanted for fraud, insider trading and money laundering, police said on Sunday. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, the EFCC, said Cecilia Ibru, former Chief Executive Officer of Oceanic Bank, and ex-head of Intercontinental Bank, Erastus Akingbola, failed to show up for questioning last week following a 400 billion naira bailout by the central bank of their institutions and 3 others. The pair are among 19 senior executives the EFCC has targeted in its investigation following the rescue operation by the central bank, which said lax governance had left the bank so weakly capitalized that they posed a systematic risk. Nigerian President Umaru Musa Yar'Adua will return to the country Tuesday after spending a little over a week in Saudi Arabia, meeting his physicians, performing the Lesser Hajj, Umrah, and resting. His flight, according to his spokesman, Segun Adeniyi, will depart Jeddah on Monday evening and will arrive in Abuja very early on Tuesday. Mr. Adeniyi, who would not discuss the president's illness, said the matter has always been in the public domain and that the president himself has made several statements regarding his sickness in the past and would continue to do so himself whenever he finds it necessary. Kaduna State has secured a loan of $15 million, $2.3 billion naira, from the Islamic Development Bank in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia for the construction of 4 science secondary schools. Umar Sani, media advisor to Governor Namadi Sambo, said in a statement in Kaduna on Sunday that the loan was guaranteed by the Federal Ministry of Finance. He said that the science schools would be located in Manchok in Kara local government area, Kuraye in Sabongari local government area, Rigachikum in Igabi local government area, and the new Kaduna Millennium City. A certain Commander Nwaze Adele, a notorious kidnapper in Rivers State, on Sunday led 20 other youths to surrender arms and ammunition to the Federal Committee on Amnesty. The militants, who handed in 14 assorted guns that included an RPG, SMG, G3, MG3, Beretta pistol, 8 AK-47s, and several rounds of ammunition at Okrika, called on others to embrace the government's amnesty. Mr. Adele said he had been in the kidnapping business for about 10 years and had close contact with militant leaders across the Niger Delta region. The National Board for Technical Education will soon be visiting 28 tertiary institutions in the country for accreditation purposes. In a statement in Kaduna on Sunday, its Executive Secretary, Nuru Yakubu, said that by August 27th, the accreditation process for 296 OND and HND programs would begin at the affected institutions in the northeast and southwest geopolitical zones. The exercise, he explained, will start with a special training program for chairmen of accreditation panels drawn from the academia, professional bodies, and the organized private sector. The police in Lagos said on Sunday that they recovered arms and ammunition from a criminal hideout in the Okokomaiko suburb after their men stormed the location. Police spokesperson Frank Mba said the recovered items included an AK-47 rifle, a pump-action gun, a Brownie pistol, and several rounds of live ammunition. He said 4 suspects were arrested in the raid, while one, who sustained injuries, died on his way to the hospital. The Federal Capital Territory chapter of the National Union of Local Government Employees on Sunday served a 2-week notice of strike by its members if the arrears of monetization owed its members was not paid. The union, in a communique issued at the end of an emergency meeting of the State Executive Council, said all local councils, as well as local government authorities in the territory, had 2 weeks to pay up or risk a strike. According to Musa Dauda, the chapter president, the ultimatum begins on Monday, August 24th. And now in world news, Somalia's insurgents on Sunday rejected a government call for a ceasefire during the Muslim holy month of Ramadan and accused the president of trying to use religion as a cover for rearming his troops. President Sheikh Sharif Ahmed, a former Islamist rebel, had called for an end to fighting during Ramadan to allow people to pray. Somalia has been torn by conflict for the last 18 years, troubling the international community, which says Al-Qaeda-linked militants exploit the chaos and pose a threat to the whole region. A huge wildfire fanned by strong winds cut a swathe of destruction near Athens on Sunday, burning houses, razing large patches of forest, and sending thousands fleeing their homes, authorities said. Efforts to fight the blaze from the air were suspended as night fell, and the fire raged unchecked for a third day, testing state resources and the Conservative government, which is facing the threat of an early election by March. Authorities said the fire had retreated from Athens suburbs and was burning mainly forest land, but winds remained strong and the danger for a flare-up was constant. In business, Nigeria is to host the Maiden Africa Telecom Development Summit on September 10th, officials said on Sunday in Abuja. The summit will appraise the state of the telecom industry on the continent, as well as seek new ways to maximize ICT potentials. The Executive Secretary of the Africa Telecom Development Initiative, Ken Ibechi, in a joint statement with the head of Public Affairs of the Nigeria Communications Commission, Reuben Mwaka, that both organizations were organizing the summit. According to them, the one-day summit will bring together key telecom personalities, including regulators, operators, equipment vendors, and policy makers. Oil rose above $74 a barrel on Monday, extending its rally to trade near a 10-month high on optimism energy demand will rebound as the US economy heads for recovery, while a storm off eastern Canada also lent support. A string of positive economic data from various countries across the globe, combined with a weakened US dollar and rallying stock markets, have helped lift oil prices by 9.45% last week, the highest weekly gain in 13 weeks. US crude for October delivery rose 20 cents to $74.09 a barrel, while London Brent crude gained 46 cents to $74.65. And finally, in sports, Maria Sharapova turned a corner in her comeback by reaching the final of the Toronto Cup on Sunday, only to find a long road still ahead to get back to the top. Working her way back to form after 9 months recovering from shoulder surgery, the Russian closed a constructive week in Canada with the type of ragged performance that will have reminded her of the work to be done. Obafemi Martins hit his second goal in as many games for Wolfsburg after coming on as a second-half substitute, but the German champions felt an embarrassing 2-4 home reverse against Hamburg. The Wolves were 2 goals down within the opening 7 minutes, but pulled one back through Zvezdan Misimovic on 52 minutes. 4 minutes later, Martins, who came on as a half-time substitute, drew the champions level, but that was as good as it got for the Wolves. Thank you for watching Next News. For details on these and more news stories, please log on to our website www.234next.com.